Imagine cruising through sand, mud, forest tracks, and city streets, with tires so wide they almost feel like they belong on a quad, yet with all the agility of a dual sport. What if Yamaha resurrected its legendary big wheel design in 2026, bringing back the TW225 with modern upgrades and timeless character? Stay with me till the end, because I'll share a surprise twist that could turn this revival into a cult legend all over again. Welcome to Z Auto Advisor, where two wheels tell epic stories. The TW in Yamaha's lineup has always stood for something unique. The TW200 is still in production, beloved for stability and ease of use. The TW225, sold primarily in Japan in the early 2000s, took that concept further. Bigger engine displacement, wider rear wheel, and more presence. The original TW225 had features like a 223cc air-cooled single, fat rear tires, simple suspension, and a focus on fun over high performance. Many fans remember it as a stable, forgiving ride that felt confident in loose terrain more than in speed. Now, reviving that big wheel concept in 2026 offers the chance to blend nostalgia, character, and practical upgrades. At the core of the 2026 version would likely be a 223cc single-cylinder, four-stroke engine, staying faithful to the original TW225's displacement. However, for modern relevance, Yamaha would almost certainly upgrade it with fuel injection in place of the original carburetor, for better throttle response, more consistent performance, and emissions compliance. We might expect around 18 horsepower, PS, at $7,500 RPM and torque in the lower mid-range. Similar to historical values, the original model claimed 18 PS or 7,500 RPM. The character would be more important than the peak power. A smooth, usable delivery that helps the bike crawl through loose or challenging terrain without drama. The classic TW225 came with a 5-speed gearbox. Yamaha might retain that, possibly with better ratios or an optional 6-speed for better highway performance. Lower gears would be optimized for torque and control in off-road or slow-speed maneuvers, while higher gears allow more comfortable cruising when the terrain is smooth. One signature feature of the TW225 is its fat tires and big wheel setup, wider rear wheel, smaller front, often with unusual sizing and balloon-like tread to improve grip in loose, soft surfaces. A 2026 TW225 might keep similarly wide rear tires, with modern compounds and rim design to manage both street and loose surface traction. The front would likely stay modest but capable. This setup gives stability over soft ground and makes the bike forgiving when things get messy. While the original TW225 had a relatively simple suspension, the revival would benefit from modern tuning and damping. Front, telescopic fork with improved damping, maybe 160-180 meter travel or more. Rear, updated shock with preload, rebound adjustment, better link geometry. Yamaha would need to balance softness for comfort and firmness for control, especially given the weight and traction demands of wide tires. The frame would likely remain lightweight but stiff enough to handle mixed use, roads, trails, city. One of the key areas a 2026 TW225 must improve is braking. The original often had front disc plus rear drum setups. The rear drum is outdated. A modern version would almost certainly have disc brakes both front and rear, potentially with dual-channel ABS, possibly with rear-wheel ABS override for off-road sliding. These upgrades would make the big wheel safer and more confidence-inspiring in real-world usage. Yamaha would want to keep the quirky, bold look of the original big wheel while modernizing materials and details. LED lighting, headlamp, tail indicators, minimal plastics, robust and modular panels, fat rear wheel, prominently displayed slim tank and narrow waist to allow leg movement, retro color options, and subtle vintage graphics. The goal, recognizable at a glance, but not stuck in the past. For accessibility, a 2026 TW225 must balance height and manageability. Seat height, historically, she's 790 millimeters, 31.1 in, for the TW225 in some reports. The revived model might keep a similar height or slightly higher, but narrow seat and slim body help riders reach the ground. Weight. The challenge is to keep the bike light despite large tires. A target wet weight might be in the 120-140 kilos neighborhood. If modern materials are used, fuel tank. Original was small, 7 liters in many sources. 2026 version might expand that slightly to give practical strengths you'd expect. Excellent traction in loose, soft, muddy terrain thanks to big wheel design, high forgiveness and stability. At low speeds, unique styling and character that stand out among dual sport simple. Robust mechanical setup, less likely to fail in remote areas. Modest power output, not a high-speed highway beast. Possible handling quirks due to wide rear tire, slower turn-in. Fuel range may be limited in city traffic. The width and tire drag may feel heavier than in narrow dual sports. The bike would appeal to riders who want something quirky. Bold and distinct ride in areas with sand, mud, soft terrain where wide tires help value character. Confidence and fun over specs air. Newer riders who want something forgiving. Collectors or enthusiasts who love unique machines, bringing back the big. Wheel in 2026 is a bold move, but it makes sense in a world where many riders crave personality, fun, and offbeat machines that don't just follow trends. And here's that surprise. Rumors from Yamaha insiders suggest a TW225 Adventure Deluxe Edition, with factory pannier racks, underbelly skid plates, and even dual front LED auxiliary lamps built in. If real, the 2026 TW225 could come nearly ready for both road and rugged trail adventures, right out of the box. This is the resurgence of a legend. This is the 2026 Yamaha TW225, as it deserves to be remembered and reinvented.